Hello everyone, it's Nick from Claret and Booze. I hope you're all well. This is my daily ramble. So what we're going to talk about today, well, we're going to run through quick recap on the on some comments made on the Arsenal game. Not going to ponder on that for too long. Then we're going to look ahead to Brentford, what we're going to expect. Have a little chat about David Moyes before talking about new potential managers that have been mentioned in the press and on our shows as well. So stick around for that. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, as always, please subscribe. Really easy. We said it over the weekend, actually. If you haven't got a YouTube account, but you've got a Gmail account, you can log in with your Gmail account. And that's it. You're on. It don't cost anything. You're on. And you can subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it as well. Thank you very much. Before we do get started, I want to just a quick mention to all of those that did subscribe over the weekend on our weekend shows. They were brilliant. Really enjoyed them. If you haven't seen our phone in, that was a great show. I really enjoyed that. But you helped us get to 4K. We was about 40 away, something like that. And we've smashed it. You know, we're now, I think we're at 4,015 or something like that. We're climbing. We're looking at 5K now, so not bad at all. We've only been going for just over a year. We're really chuffed, and we're over the moon that you guys still continue to watch us and watch us ramble on about West Ham. You know, we love it, and it's only you guys that sort of keep us going. So yeah, thank you very much, and we've had some brilliant messages from you all as well. So thank you for that. I'm talking about messages on our videos. I haven't had a chance to respond to any yet, or very few, over the past few days because I'm off. I've got the kids and we've got plenty to be doing this week. But I'm going to. I will go through it. You know, I always I'll read every comment. I'll read them as they come through. I've just not had time to sort of sit down there and go through them all and respond. So yeah, keep putting your comments in and I will respond soon. So David Moyes, you know, a quick recap on Arsenal first of all. It was awful. It really was, you know, just the way that we were. The thing that concerns me more than anything else was the lack of fight and the lack of a team that we are. You know, I don't think there was a lack of effort. I think you can have effort without having fight, and we just didn't have that. We were bullied. We were bullied all over the pitch. We were bullied on the sidelines as well. You know, Arteta jumping up and down, encroaching on our technical area, fucking gesticulating. He set the tone. And no one on our bench jumps up and does anything. No one challenges him. You know, no one sort of shows the team on the pitch that this is how you fight. It's what take a fucking yellow card, send Nolan out there or something like that. Somebody should react. And that spilled onto the pitch. We were just getting bullied all over the place. And when you're playing against a team that are better than you technically, you've got to compensate. You must compensate. You must have more fight and more aggression than them. And we didn't. We were just, it was pathetic, really, on reflection. You know, it's a sad thing to see. We're just not a team anymore. We're not. We've just got this team cobbled together. You know, and the thing is, you know, we've got these 8 new players that David Moyes keeps on banging on about. You know, bedding in and getting them. It's not just getting them used to the Premier League. It's getting them into the team. And forming a team. We're not a team at the moment. He had the perfect opportunity in this 6 weeks just gone. There shouldn't have been any holidays. It should have been a team holiday. There should have been warm weather training like every other club were doing. They were overseas, and you know, I can guarantee you it weren't probably all training. It was team building. It was going out for meals and maybe a few nights out and stuff like that. Form a team, but he didn't. He didn't do it. He did nothing. We saw no changes to anything. You know, he came out, he put out the same team that we all knew he was going to put out. And the end result was what we all expected, probably a little bit worse. It was sad. Yeah, I don't know. He's got to go. He has to go now. I would prefer it if he went before Brentford, but I don't think he's going to. I did say on the show the other day, it would be fairer to get rid of him before Brentford because he's earned it. You know, he's earned that. He's getting thrown into the lion's den. The fans have had enough. They're unified. They want him out, and most fans want him out now. And the board are going to lead that. They're going to allow that to happen. You know, he's up against it. It's not going to work. You know, Brentford. We'll talk about Brentford in a minute, but they're going to take us apart. He shouldn't be put through that, but he's going to, and we're going to have to do what we've got to do. We've got to get him out of our club. It ain't fucking working. It's frustrating. We know what he's going to do against Brentford as well. There's going to be no surprises. So yeah, it was shocking, wasn't it? The Arsenal game. It was literally fucking shocking for everyone, for him to have not changed a single thing in 6 weeks. Nothing. He's changed nothing. For Souček to still be in that team as well. My goodness. I mean, he's past success rate. It was 40% or 43%, and he completed 8 passes, in 79 minutes, and he plays in the middle of the park. Paqueta walked off, stormed down the pitch, stormed down the tunnel. I'm not surprised. We've gone and bought this guy in. We're making him look shit. Doesn't matter where you play him in central midfield, because we bypass central midfield. That game was all about chasing shadows. When you get the ball, hoof it wide to the wingers. That was all it was. We were bypassing midfield. We weren't using any of the midfielders at all. It was fucking mind-numbing. So I'm not surprised that Paqueta stormed down the tunnel. He probably thinks, why am I here? They're making me look shit, which we are. We are. I don't entirely blame the player. We've got a very, very good squad at the moment, and it's criminal the way that we're playing, the way that we're setting up. It's cowardly and it's criminal. But sort of looking ahead to Brentford, I think we know what to expect. We know what to expect from Brentford. Anyone who watched that game against Tottenham the other day, they were good. They were just, they're an efficient machine. They're very defensively sound. They're quick on a counter. They've got a good attack. They're solid. They're aggressive. They're dirty. People spoken about the dark arts from Arsenal. Well, Brentford do that as well. They time waste. They dive. They cheat. They do whatever they've got to do. Whatever they've got to do to get the points. And they're a team. That's the most important thing. West Ham, who are not a team, are going up against a team who are galvanised, who are all singing from the same hymn sheet. I was kind of hoping that Ivan Toney was going to look like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders against Spurs. He didn't. He was his normal self. He was brilliant. So I don't think we're going to get let off there. I think he's going to be playing, and him and Mbeumo, they'll be the same threat that they always are. With the wide threat that they've got, they're just a good team. They're a good team. They play to their strengths. Thomas Frank is a good tactician. They've just signed Thomas Frank up to a long-term contract, so that's one manager we're not getting. And I'd liked him. I'd like Thomas Frank, but they've done the right thing. They've tied him down. So congratulations, Brentford. Gone and secured a good manager. But what to expect from West Ham? Well, we know what to expect. He's not gonna change anything. The only changes that he is likely to make are not going to be the obvious ones. It's going to be Paqueta and Benrahma out. We all saw how he reacted after the penalty. When Benrahma tucked that penalty away. There was no celebration. He was stony-faced. He looked pissed off. And then the post-match comments as well. It's ugly. There's so many players this season. And that's why fans are jumping on the defence of Benrahma. Because we can all see what Moyes is doing. And we can all see that there's been players this season that he lets them off scot-free. He never, ever says anything about them. But they've been far worse than Benny. But he never says anything about them. He will only pick on Benrahma. He picks on him. It's ugly. And I think that's why fans are defending Benny. Bowen, Souček, Soufal. They've been far worse than Benrahma. He never says anything about them. But we know if he's going to make a change, it'll be Benrahma out. Possibly Fornals in on the left wing where he's not suited, and probably Paqueta out for Downs. Don't know. Maybe he'll try and make us a little bit. I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's up against it. I think he's going to have the fans on his back as well. And that's not me criticising the fans. With all due respect, I think we've had enough. We've seen enough. He's had a year, 12 months of patience. 12 months. We've been shit in the league, and up until the last few weeks, the vast majority inside that stadium, they were on his side. They were. And then he comes out like he did after a few recent games. He starts criticising the fans, calling us experts. That's when quite a few people flipped. And what he doesn't realise is, once the fans go, once you've lost it, once we've lost respect for you, you ain't getting it back, mate. He can't recover from this situation. He can't. This is flogging a dead horse. He has got to go. Like I say, it would be better for all concerned if he went before, because it would also give us a chance of maybe getting a win in a critical game. But I don't think they're going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're going to throw him out into the lion's den, and we're going to chew him up and spit him out. It's as simple as that. If heaven forbid we don't start well, if Brentford go a goal up, it will turn, it will switch, bang. Yes, that will bleed onto the pitch. But I am sorry, the fucking team. I don't feel sorry for them either at the moment. You know, they're completely defiant. They're ignoring the situation that they're in. If you're in a relegation fight is the key word. If you're going to survive it, you have to fight. So they're going to have to acknowledge it before they can get out of this situation. They're going to have to. You know, David Moyes, Declan Rice have all been coming out in post-match press conferences saying, you know, this is a blip. You know, we're pushing for Europe. We're not in a relegation fight. Fucking pull your heads out your asses. You're in a relegation fight. Just accept it. Accept it and stop gaslighting. You know, you ain't fooling anyone. You're not. But it's gone too far now. It's gone too far. I do believe that he won't make it to the Leeds game, because if we lose against Brentford, that will be him gone. It'll be him gone. We've seen the club now. They've changed stance. You know, the same sources that were coming out, you know, news sites and YouTube channels that were coming out singing his praises and how the board back him and how they back him and everything else. Twitter accounts as well. Just a few weeks ago, they've all sort of come down like a pack of cards. It's like a coordinated attack now. Not attack, but they're changing stance. So clearly the writing is on the wall for David Moyes. It's like I say, it's just a case of whether he goes after Brentford or whether he goes after Leeds. Now look, there is a possibility that we could win against Brentford. We can't look past that. It could happen. We could beat Brentford. We could play terribly and we could shit house a 1-0. Or what happens if we draw? What do you do then? Then I suppose he gets Leeds. I don't know. So, you know, far be it for me to. I don't know. I think it's got West Ham fans, a lot of them, in a bit of a sticky situation, because no West Ham fan wants their team to lose. Of course they don't. They don't. But this is enough. Enough is enough. You know, is it a good situation? You know, would you prefer, as West Ham fans, because we've been seeing a lot of it on social media, would you prefer, if we were set up in the same way and we played the same way and it was turgid, would you rather we didn't get anything from the Brentford game? You know, that's not saying that if we turn out and we play well and we win and we deserve to win, that's a bit different. You know, then that is different. But if he does the same shit, the same thing, and we shit house a 1-0 or a draw, I think that's the only thing that could get him through to Leeds. If he loses against Brentford, he is gone. He is gone ultimately. You know, I'm sick of moaning about David Moyes. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of watching his style of football. It's just too much now. It was nice the other day on the show to see that the fans are not arguing anymore. It feels like we're all divided now. We're all unified now. You know, that divide seems to have gone. I think most people they appear to have accepted that that's the end for David Moyes. And it's not. It's nice to see the West Ham fans not arguing. You know, we had loads on our stream the other night, and it was so active in the chat. And there was no arguments. Only from the fucking Arsenal fans that came in, twats. But yeah, I think that's it. I think he's going to go. He should go before. I think we'll lose against Brentford. I think he'll get sacked directly afterwards. Because what is the point? And what happens next? You know, are they going to go for a caretaker manager? Will it be Warburton? Could they divert Noble from his sporting director role down to the dugout to basically head up a makeshift team? Who knows? I wouldn't be against it. I would rather us get a proper manager in. I would. But I think we've just got to deal with one problem at a time. And the big problem at the moment is David Moyes. And I do think that just by removing him, you're going to remove the obvious cloud that is over that club at the moment. And I think we'll see an instant uplift. We've got good players that just need to be told to go out and express themselves. Somebody needs to come in and build a team. You know, like I said to you, fucking take them out on a night out. Get them, build a team. You know, galvanise them. That's what we need first and foremost. All these new players, they need to feel like they're part of something. You know, I think you can see from a lot of these videos that go out on social media. There was one before the Arsenal game where Dawson and Ogbonna were pissing around and Ogbonna was in a bucket and it was being pushed over to towards Emerson and Paqueta. They're all disjointed. It looks like you got cliques, which I don't think you can have. You can't have that, especially at the moment. You know, they've got to be a team. So whoever does come in or doesn't, I think they've got to. That's the first thing. They've got to galvanise that team and get them enjoying their football again. That's the thing. You know, remove the fucking shackles and just tell them initially, just go out, enjoy yourself, start enjoying football again. You know, then perhaps we'll start enjoying watching them as well. But like I say, I hope that that's not the case. I hope it's not going to be a caretaker manager, a caretaker setup. I hope that we do go out and get a new manager in. As we all know, Pochettino, Tuchel, they're available. Whether or not we've missed the boat on that, I do believe that by leaving it this long and bypassing that 6-week window that we had, I think we've shrunk the pool of managers that were feasibly available to us. I do believe that Poch and Tuchel were realistic targets. I think they were. I think maybe they still are. I think if you are that type of manager, you're going to be sure of your own ability. And surely most of them will look at this situation and go, they'll look at all the teams at the bottom, look at West Ham and go, fucking look at that squad. You know, it's an easy win, isn't it? Even if you're coming in for 6 months, we're in a European competition, you can come in, you can save us from relegation, win a trophy, boom. That's not bad in your CV. What else you doing? You know, so if it's a temporary appointment, I wouldn't be against the likes of Poch or Tuchel. I think that would be fantastic, to be quite honest. And I think that would get us out of trouble. It would do. And then at the end of the season, because the embarrassment clause is up in April, which is before the end of the season, there could be a club sale. So whoever's in the driving seat at that point, maybe they could be persuaded to stay. You don't know how these things, you know, it could work in that way. You don't know. I think it will be short term, especially because the board they're looking to sell. It's, you know, they've made it common knowledge now that they're looking to sell. So they're probably unlikely to go out and get someone in on a 4-year, 5-year deal, because whoever comes in next, they're probably going to want to put their own manager in place. Normally, that's what happens. Normally, the new owners want to put their stamp on the club. So having a manager there that they're going to have to pay off to get rid of him probably isn't a good selling point. So that might be the reason why, you know, they've stuck with David Moyes for this long. I don't know. It doesn't excuse it. It's fucking pathetic, because if they do go getting rid of him, which we all know they're going to after Brentford or Leeds, what an absolute joke that they didn't just do it before that 6-week break. What a mess. What a mess they are, honestly. Pathetic. As much as I want David Moyes out, they ain't getting off the hook. It's an absolute joke the way they've run this club, you know, and I can't wait for them to go. I can't wait for them to piss off. They're fucking useless. But yeah, like I say, I hope I'd like to see a Poch or a Tuchel. It's probably becoming less and less unlikely as the weeks go, and as, you know, the more difficult it gets, because nobody wants a relegation on their CV, you know. But again, I don't think those managers of that level would think that they would get us relegated, because they're going to have belief. They're going to look at that and they're going to go, yeah, I can get them out of that, no problem. Go and win a trophy while I'm at it and all. You know, so I don't think that they will lack belief in themselves to get us out of that situation. What it is likely to be, the more and more I read and the more I hear, it's likely to be a fucking Sean Dyche or a Rafa Benitez. And if it is, I think that I think whoever it is will come in and get us out of trouble anyway. I think just based on the facts, we know we've got a good squad, we know we've got a good team, and the problem is David Moyes. By removing him from that situation, I think whoever comes in, I think we're going to be all right this season. I think we're going to be okay. But managers I would like to come in, you know, Ange Postecoglou. I've spoken about him before. I know a lot of people don't like the idea. I do. I think he's brilliant. He really is. He's all about playing football for the fans, and that's something that David Moyes doesn't do. You know, we're hearing that there are fans out there at the moment that are going to be letting their season tickets go because they can't relate to the team anymore. It's becoming a financial strain for everyone, and when you're getting nothing from it, you're not going to put yourself in that situation if you're getting nothing from it. You know, football should be a release from everyday life, and if you've got people struggling out there at the moment, West Ham will slip down the list of priorities because they're offering nothing positive to anyone's life at the moment. You know, we should be going to football, going out there watching 11 blokes giving everything to beat what's in front of them. That's what we want to see. We want to see blood, sweat and tears, a real galvanised team, a galvanised fan base, so it feels like a family again. And that is what West Ham was always about. And we're just not that anymore. And David Moyes is the most anti-West Ham manager we've ever had. I know he's brought us a little bit of relative success, but his style of football, no. Just fucking traipsing down to Stratford, paying 10 quid for a hot dog, 8 quid for a pint, and then sitting there watching your team sit behind the ball for 75 minutes. Who wants to watch that? It's boring. It's gutless. It's not what we're about. It was never going to end well, and it ain't going to end well. So no, whoever does come in next, I hope it is an Ange Postecoglou type manager. And in that bracket, you're looking at Bielsa as well, because he's a visionary. We all know how Bielsa plays football. We would love him, be batshit crazy, but wouldn't it be fun? Bielsa. If you're looking at that style of manager, you've got Gallardo, who was spoken about on other shows as well, in the same mould as Bielsa. He's not just because he's Argentinian. They play similar styles of football. He's an incredibly successful manager as well. I think River Plate's most successful manager. And his contract is up, or it was up in December. I hope he's still available. I haven't looked, actually. Probably should have. But yeah, he was an exciting option, a brave option that would be. I'd love to see that. Vincent Kompany would be another one. I don't see that happening, because why would you trade his current situation with Burnley, where it looks like he's going to absolutely piss the Championship and get them promoted? Why would you risk that? Because that'd be great on his CV to come to a club that are in dire straits like we are at the moment. I'm not saying it won't happen. And we do have good close connections with Man City, who we know Kompany has as well. We are a more glamorous team than Burnley. Could it happen? Maybe. But I think more of Kompany than that. I think Kompany will see the job through. I think he'll get Burnley promoted. I think it'd be a bit of a shit thing to do for him to bail away from Burnley now. He's doing a great job. He's going to get him promoted. I think he should see it through. I'd love him at West Ham, but I wouldn't. I think it would say a lot about the man if he jumped ship now to come to us. So no, I think it's possibly 6 months to a year too soon for Kompany. Although I would like it. I would like it if he came in. There are tons of managers. Like I said, Thomas Frank isn't going to happen. That's not going to happen. He's just signed a contract extension with Brentford. Ralph Hasenhüttl, I think is available. There are so many managers. The one that I really liked was Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon, but he signed a contract extension. And again, that doesn't mean much. You can buy them out of their contract, but West Ham have never done that. We've never bought a manager out of a contract. And I think his compensation would be around about 17, 18 million. Unlikely. But yeah, what an appointment that would be. But there are plenty of managers, and there's going to be more and more coming out. We will do more detailed shows on that once this is done, because I don't think we'll have a new manager appointed straight away. I think there'll be a gap. I think whatever happens, we'll see a caretaker appointment initially. God knows what that caretaker appointment will be. It could be the unthinkable. It could be Warburton go straight in. I mean, he is a manager. I hope not. The more I think about it, I don't want that to happen. Smacks of fucking Harry Redknapp and Billy Bonds, doesn't it? This situation, a little bit. But although I don't think it is the same situation, because David Moyes has done this all by himself. He has. So I've got no qualms about that. David Moyes has literally he's committed professional suicide with some of his decision making over the past year. It's been woeful. So I don't feel sorry for him in that sense. I don't, because he hasn't helped himself. He's been arrogant. I don't wish him any harm. I just want him out of the club. Want him out of the club completely. It's all turned toxic, and we want it removed. We want to start having a laugh again, even though we do still manage to have a laugh, don't we? On this channel, we do anyway. Bit of moaning, but we never take ourselves too seriously. I end up laughing at myself half the time, even when I'm ranting. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think first of all about the Brentford game. What are you expecting? Do you think Moyes is going to change anything? I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to change an absolute bloody thing. Do you think that we could get anything out of the game? Do you think he's going to get sacked after that game? Or do you think that he will, as some have said, he'll be here until the end of the January transfer window because they believe that the board don't want to give a new manager money? Well, I don't buy that, because they don't want to get relegated, and if a new manager comes in, they're probably going to have to give him some money. Every new manager needs they're going to come in and identify something. Hopefully, the fucking blatantly obvious things that we've all noticed, right back and left back, straight away, sort them out. Sort them out in January. Sort it out. Job done. But yeah, let us know about that. Let us know what you think about new managers as well. So let's look ahead. I think it is a bit positive. I think we've been through a load of shit now. It's been a bit of a roller coaster under Moyes. We've had good times. Now we're coming down. It's been very, very difficult this past few months. So I think we can be positive now. We can look ahead. I think there's good times ahead. And yeah, wouldn't that be nice to be looking forward to football again? So let us know you think, who would you like to come in? I know we've spoken about this before, but are there any new managers that you'd like us to look into? And if it is going to be a caretaker situation, who do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Noble, Warburton, Nolan? Combination of all three. Carlton Cole threw his hat in the ring yesterday. I saw on Twitter. I know he retracted it later on, but we all saw his statement. I can't remember exactly what he said. Actually, I'll tell you. I'll read it out to you now because it's on my phone. 1 minute. Where are we? Very quickly before I go. Right, Carlton Cole tweeted one of those inspirational quotes. Right, he wrote, "Just saying," and then the actual poster, if you like, said, "Put it in front of me. I can do it. With a bit of time to adjust and perseverance." Well, you don't get that, Carlton. "There is nothing I can't do. Just saying, God loves a fighter and a trier. CC." See? He's thrown his hat in the ring, but then he pulled it straight back out about 3 hours later. Would you take Carlton Cole? What about Joey Cole? Joey Cole's doing his badges, Scott Parker as well. Scott Parker's another one. He was on the panel the other day for Arsenal. There's loads of managers. God knows who they're looking at. But this is what I mean. We don't have to stick with David Moyes. There are other options. We can go in different directions. Right, that's it from me. There probably isn't going to be another show now until after the Brentford game, where I'll do a live review. I'll do a live review this time, so we can do a phone in. So I'll literally go live after the game, and I'll tell you what I think of the game, and then I'll get you all to call in. And then what we'll do is the following day, me, Gary, and John will do our player rating show. All right, I'll speak to you soon. Come in your hands.